All right, let's get it. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my setup real quick and go into a lot of detail for you guys to give you guys some context about how to get it running for yourselves with ThinkorSwim, TDAmeritrade, CharlesSchwab. So again, TDAmeritrade was recently bought out by CharlesSchwab, actually a couple of years back, but the merger has been taking some time due to COVID. Last I spoke with them on the phone, but right now they are transitioning. So if you guys are interested in trading, I really do recommend CharlesSchwab. They're pretty great. I've been with TDAmeritrade, but again, they're transitioning to CharlesSchwab. ThinkorSwim is a platform that is offered on their sort of trading platform mix of things. Okay, they have both an online and a desktop version. I'm using my MacBook right now, and this is the desktop version. It's very fluid. There's a lot of things you can do with it. Some of the best traders in the world use this, such as I found out through Top G, not Andrew Tate, but Top G in another chat with some friends. He uses this as well. He follows a guy named Oliver Kell who won the investment competition, I think back in 2021 or 2020. The guy uses ThinkorSwim. A lot of people use ThinkorSwim. It's free and it's very intuitive and it's very simple. So, okay, let's go ahead and talk some basics real quick. Okay, so we're all truly on the same page. Okay, I want to talk about first some stocks. Okay, some basic stocks. All right, let me remove all of these drawings that I have here. Where's remove old drawing, or just remove all drawings, clear drawings. Okay, so taking it from the top. All right, once again, the SPY, the S&P 500, it is the largest collection of like the best companies in the United States. So if you buy one share of this, you're basically buying shares of every single company listed in this heat map, sorted by information tech, communication services, industrials, consumer discretionary. So you're buying like part of Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Google, Meta, Union Pacific Corp. I mean, the list goes on. You know what I mean? That's why it's called the S&P 500. All right. It's the same case for the NASDAQ 100. When you buy a share of the NASDAQ 100 through the Triple Q or one NASDAQ future, then you're buying all of these. Same thing with the Dow Jones. These are called indexes, right? Indices, where they index different sectors of the market, if you will, different companies, and then you basically are buying a little bit of all of these in one go. And that's why I'm sure you guys have heard of the guy named Warren Buffett. He's considered one of the greatest investors of like the past 100 years, right? The past century. His challenge to everybody on Wall Street, those hedge funds, is like, over 10, 20 years, you will never be able to beat the SPY, right? And if you do, then you are truly someone that is amazing, right? So if you are an amateur investor like myself, where you're trying to manage your own money and learn something new, pick up a new hobby, whatever it is, make some money on the side without having to, in addition to, without touching your 401k, right? Then if you want to, you know what I mean? Like, the SPY is not a bad bet. Just slowly buy in every couple of months, or every month, every paycheck, whatever it is. And you'll see, like, over the past so many years, this only goes up. Like the meme, stocks go up, right? But, okay, let's go ahead and talk about some things real quick. Some even more basics. Like, what am I even looking at on this chart? This is called a candlestick chart, right? And this is a way to depict price action, meaning where the stock is going up and down on a daily basis, right? So when you have ThinkorSwim, I'm going to assume that, at this point, you guys might have ThinkorSwim downloaded. You can click on this cog right here, and in the price axis, okay, how do I switch this out of Candlestick? Actually, I haven't done this in a while. I'm kind of doing this off the cuff right now. I don't have any of this planned. Style. Okay, it's got to be over here. So you click style, and you should be able to change it. Chart mode, chart type. There we go. You can do candles, or you can do a line, which is probably what it's going to look like for you standard when you first downloaded it. Red line meaning that the stock went down for that particular day. Green line meaning went up, right? The best traders, I shouldn't say the best traders. Personally, I and the people I've learned from, we all just use candlesticks, okay? Because it's just so much more intuitive. And the chart that I'm looking at right now, what does this mean? 1 year by 1 day, okay? 1 day by 1 minute, 5 day by 5 minute. What does that mean? So 1 year by 1 day is what I have right now, right? So what's in front of me, let me zoom out, is maximum you can see 1 year back from today on this chart, okay? And each candlestick represents 1 day, 1 trading day, right? So today was May 3rd, yesterday was May 2nd, the day before that May 1st, April 30th, and then you have April 29th, and then you had the weekend in between, so the prior trading to that was last Friday, April 26th, right? So how do you read a candlestick? Green, okay, if it's a green candlestick, that means it opened over here and it closed over here, the box, okay, you read the box. It opened here at 504.15 on May 2nd, 2024, and it closed at closed at 505.03, opened at 504.15, right? Opened here, closed here, and then the two lines going way down and going way up, that's your range basically. This is the low of the day, this is the high of the day, okay? Red candlestick means it opened up here, okay, at 501.38, and then it closed at 4 o'clock p.m. at 500.35. Important to know, market opens at 9:30 a.m. every trading day, Eastern Standard Time, closes at 4 p.m. Don't forget that. Pre-market trading, TDAmeritrade offers pre-market trading starting 8 a.m. and aftermarket hour trading, even when the market closes at 4 p.m., you can trade until 8 p.m. on those extended hours trading. I'll show you how to do that. Next, Triple Q. Another big one, right? Another big index, right? The NASDAQ. I showed you guys the heat map. Largely, it's more so consisted of more tech stocks than anything, okay? Dow Jones. Is it DXI? DXJ? DJX? Yeah, there we go. DJX. That's the Dow Jones Industrial Average for the ETF that's tradable, right? Exchange Traded Fund ETF SPY, QQQ, DJX, Russell 2000, which is the IWM or the RUT, right? I really suggest you guys look at Investopedia and other websites and just Google and just learn on your own in that regard. This is all about the setup I'm trying to show you guys to get started, right? And I realize I'm kind of hodgepodge, jumping all over the place. I just hope this comes out coherent. So, big buttons on the side of ThinkorSwim. You can see an active trader. This shows you the order flows at any given moment throughout the trading day. Right now, it's just after hours. Well, markets close even after hours, so this is just like some lagging shit that the fund needs to take care of. Or sorry, the platform needs to take care of. Big buttons. You can do that. I don't suggest it. It's if you're a day trader. Real quick, day trading rules. You need at least $25,000 cash in your account to be able to do beyond 3 day trades in a day. What is a day trade? It means you buy and close, meaning you sell a particular position more than 3 times in a day. You have exceeded the PDT rules, the pattern day trade rules, and your account will be locked, right? If you're under $25,000. That is a standard rule across every brokerage firm in America, okay? That's something you should be aware of if you are trading with less than $25,000 cash. However, futures, if you are approved for trading futures, you are not barred by those pattern day trade rules. I will talk about futures in another video, not in this video. All right, so now let's talk about some studies. So you're looking at the SPY. You're trying to figure out if it's a good time to buy. How do you know it's a good time to buy? How do you know it's not a good time to buy? Well, look, the high was only on April 1st recently, a 524.61 all-time high. Don't you think we're still close at 511.29? Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask me, I think that we're at a pretty decent point. If you ask somebody else, they may not think so. So, how do I make this determination for myself? I load some studies, some stochastic studies. I read the news. I keep up with individual companies, as many as I can, trying to keep up with the news on them on a weekly basis, daily basis, whatever it is. Earnings reports matter. Because all those stocks you see listed over here, every single one of them collectively influences how this particular stock moves overall, okay? So, now let's load some studies. If you're a number guy, if you're a pattern type of person like most traders are, then you will want to start learning about different studies, okay? So there's two fundamentally, like there's 2 types of studies. You can have price action studies and you can have momentum studies, all right? Let's talk about price action studies. So basically this is based on, you know, like what are some areas, for example, the study I'm going to load up, what I like to use is the relative strength index, RSI, right? Basically, it gives you an understanding and an idea of what are some areas, some key pockets where there has been a lot of buying or a lot of selling, okay? Or something's overbought or oversold, right? So, depending on what time frame you look at it at, okay, it will give you a decent understanding. So, if we're looking at it a year by the day, let's zoom in over here, you can see that when it dipped as low as 494.79 on April 19th, just 2 weeks back, the RSI went all the way down to 28, about 30, right? For most books you read on investing, 30 RSI is a pretty decent ideal buy indicator, but you never want to rely solely on one indicator. And some people even go so far to say if you rely on indicators at all, you're an idiot. I think that it's a combination of things that you should do as a trader as you grow over time. Pay attention to news, learn about how companies work, really learn how they work, learn about their balance sheets. The more you know, the better you are, the better informed you are about how a company might move, okay? So, 30 RSI could be sort of a padding and support in your mind of maybe it could be a good time to buy a stock. When it gets up to 70 RSI, that's usually considered overbought, right? And that's when, by the trading books, by the fundamentals, some people start considering to start shaving off their positions, right? Because they feel that it's overbought. But plenty of times in my life, I have seen things go above and beyond 70 RSI. Like over here, you can see this bitch went all up to like fucking 80s, okay? Into the 80s at this point in December, cooled off a little bit, and then just continued rallying to oblivion, right? Into the beyond. Now, if you look at it on the 4-hour aggregation, right? So the RSI, the relative strength index, every indicator you program into your chart, it's going to be based on your aggregation, okay? So one bar reflects 4 hours in this case. 180 days, you're looking at 180 days of the stock performance over 4 hours aggregation, right? Every bar represents 4 hours. Every bar, 4 hours. You have 8 hours in the trading day, right? 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Roughly 8.5, whatever the hell. Can't do math. 4 hours, 4 hours. This candlestick opened at 9 a.m. and it closed, right? What's 9 plus 4? 13. So 1 p.m. and then 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. right after hours. And then the darker shaded or the lighter shaded gray, that's like after hours trading. And then each of these black bars represents during the hours trading, 9:30 to 4. Okay. So if you look at the RSI on the 4-hour, let's zoom out. Okay. You can see this thing hit 30 RSI so many fucking times, which is why it's not the best indicator to go off of alone. Okay, you might be setting yourself up for failure, depending on the stock you're looking at, and depending on the patterns you're able to pick out for yourself and feel comfortable with. Okay, so another thing I like to use in combination with this is moving averages, right? So again, you have two fundamental styles, basic styles of setting up indicators. You can have price action based indicators and you can have momentum based indicators. Momentum based indicators are often helpful for when a stock is moving like crazy. So when you go over here, studies, add study, go to moving averages. There's two kinds of moving averages. Well, there's many kinds of moving averages, but I like to use simple and exponential moving averages. Okay, so what's the difference and how do you set it up? So real quick, exponential moving averages. Okay, let's do moving average exponential. All right, you click on that. Let's go over here to studies again, go to edit studies, and you can see over here your price says moving average exponential, close 9.0, no. Click the cog. The length is 9, meaning what? Let's click here, the number of bars which affects EMA most significantly, okay? So basically it's going off of, it's calculating whatever formula it uses to calculate this exponential moving average based on 9 pricing points of the chart you're looking at. So if you have it by the 4-hour, it's using 4 times 9, 36 hours of pricing data, okay? Personally, I do like to use, I'll show you guys my setup, but this is your 9-day exponential moving average. I like to program 3 different kinds of exponential moving averages. And you can read books on this, you can read studies on this, you can read articles on this, and find what works for you and what you're able to find the patterns for, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and add 3 of these bad boys, moving average exponential. Now let's go over here, edit studies, and I'm going to change this guy to 12. And let's change the color to whatever. Let's just pick pink, because pink is sexy. All right. And this one now, let's change this to 26. And let's make the color, I don't know, red, because red is also pretty cool. All right. So what are we looking at now? We are looking at, okay, these three moving averages, right? Once again, my red was my 26, my pink was my 12, and my blue was my 9, okay? So, exponential moving averages are shorter term moving averages that you can use primarily for recent price changes, because it's exponentially calculating how the average price of the stock is changing over time, right? So, usually, one idea that you can read about online is that when the stock is bullish and it's rallying and it's on this upwards trend, every time it comes back down to your 12 or your 9, it's going to probably bounce off, which you can see happens in this most recent bull rally we've had since like fucking November, where you had it, quote unquote, cross above the 26 and rally into the great beyond until just a month ago where it started retracting. Where now it's curving back down, and the 26, the slower moving average, is now higher than your shorter moving averages, right? Right? Got it? Got it? You have a bearish crossover pattern right here, right? And over here you have a bullish crossover pattern where your shorter moving averages cross above your bearish moving average, your slower moving average, and that signals that, hey, you may be breaking out into a bullish rally, okay? Exponential moving averages, don't forget it. Do suggest it. Very helpful. All right, now let's load some simple moving averages, because I like simples a lot, because I'm simple. I'm a fucking simpleton. All right, so let's add it 3 times, because I like using 3 simple moving averages in addition to the exponentials, okay? Moving average, where the fuck did it go? I'm fucking blind, I can't read simple moving average. There it is. And we're going to add it one more time. I can do this a more simple way, but again, I'm autistic, so I always have to go down this set way to do it, because I'm autistic and I don't just want to duplicate it, which you can do. ThinkorSwim's not that fucking robotic or stupid. You can just literally right-click and duplicate, and it's going to duplicate, but I don't like doing that because I'm weird. Okay, so what simple moving averages do I like to use? I like to set this thing on 20. We can make this, I don't know, let's make it green. I like to make this, let's make it, I want a 50-day simple moving average, okay? Let's make that orange, and then I like a 100. That's my super slow moving average, okay? Some people use like 252 because there's 252 trading days in a year, I think. But it's all what you want to do, right? Right? So as you can see, my yellow is my 100-day, meaning this is the slowest moving average, and it's calculated simply, meaning you add each day and then divide it by the number of bars you're looking at. So if you're looking at this, you add all those numbers, divide by 3, you get your simple moving average for 3 days, right? 100 means you're doing it for the past 100 days, okay? And you can go above and beyond as much as you want and adjust it to your liking and read. I really encourage reading. Investopedia, the people I learned from, TastyTrade, Tastyworks, Don Kaufman at TheorTrade, the list goes on. There's so many resources online and YouTube videos, probably way better than mine, that you can learn about from. But you can see this most recent contraction on the SPY, the mother of all products, this thing passed below its 50-day simple moving average and came almost down to its 100-day. And that's why I said for my past 2 recorded videos that I'm not going to be confident that the SPY is breaking out into a bullish rally again unless it crosses above and stays above its 50-day moving average. Why? Well, it's because if you look at the past 20 years aggregated by the day, you can see usually when it's bullish, it's always above its orange line. If it's below the orange line, chances are it's probably going to be fucking going down, bro. Right? That's a very simple pattern I picked up. Keep it simple for yourself, guys. I can't stress that enough, okay? The market gets very fucking complicated and hairy, and the more complicated and hairy you make it for yourself, well, the more you're gonna have to fucking shave off at the end when you're ready to place a fucking trade, okay? So keep it simple. I have, like, these fucking indicators that I work off of, and I just stick to my guns, right? I've got my Quaker moving averages, my 12, 26, and 9 exponential, and then I have my simples. My 100, my 50, and my 20, right? Which is green, okay? All right, and that's my setup for my indicators that I like to use. And I just fucking read a lot. Just read. there's a fucking news tab right here on ThinkorSwim. Type in SPY. You'll get all the macroeconomic news that you want right there on the left. Type in Tesla, TSLA. You'll get all this fucking news constantly updated, right? That's how these motherfuckers make money, bro. There's journalists out there that literally get paid to just fucking crank out articles by the fucking minute all day, and it influences the stock price because everybody reacts. That's where people make money. People make money through this shit, man. I'm telling you. Okay. I hope this helps you get started with understanding indicators. Now let's talk about how to place a trade, okay? Say you want to place a trade on the SPY. You're going to go to the trade tab. You're going to click bid, okay? Make it buy. How much money you want to put in? Let's say you want to buy 1 share, okay? You're going to hit confirm and send, and then confirm and send, okay? And you're good to go, right? You bought 1 share. You have an ask and a bid, right? Ask, people are selling for 512.32 if you're a StockX seller. You all understand this. Bid for 512.3. If you ever bid on eBay, you'll understand this as well. Last, meaning what was the last price it's traded for? Net change, meaning how much has it changed today so far? Volume, meaning how many shares were traded today? 72.75 million shares of this were traded today. What did the opening price have at 9:30 a.m.? And where did it close? Well, that's what it's at right now. But you'll argue, well, this ask bid is not the same as this. That's because this is the after hours. After 4 p.m., this still keeps fluctuating until 8 p.m. Okay? This is the mid price on it right now. Okay? And what you're looking at right now, all this stuff is the options table. We'll talk about that another day. I really suggest you guys learn some basic stock trading first on how to operate on a platform and feel good about your indicators. Then you dive into options if you feel comfortable about it. Because, you know, there's some religious things about it, kind of a gray area for some people, so on and so forth. Okay. That's how you place a trade. And once you have it and you get synced in, how do you close? So let's open up TQQQ. Okay. I have 29 quantity shares locked in at a trade price overall because I've been DCing all over the place, dollar cost averaging all over the place, 54.7. Market price right now is 56.9. Net lake, how much money's put into this? $1,650. Profit loss since opening the position, $61. If I want to sell it, right? Just, you can also edit this, by the way. Click the cog and you can add in different things, right? Different metrics, the list goes on. You can search and whatever you feel comfortable with, okay? Just want to get that out the way. All right. If you want to sell, you right click, create closing order, sell minus 29, and you can adjust it, okay? How much you want to sell, how much you want to sell. And if you go above what you own, then you're short selling and you don't want to do that. Be very careful, okay? Confirm and send. Well, right now I made a net positive, so I'm trying to buy. If I want to sell, then let's do that. Confirm send, you can send, okay? That's how you buy and sell stocks on ThinkorSwim, and that's how you set up your indicators. All right, guys. And you can organize them into different buckets and shit, and you can figure that on your own. But I hope this is a great start. Analyze tab. You can see probabilities and stuff. This is really for options trading. Risk profile, that's if you have options trades program. Think back is a powerful tool. You can jump back to any point in history that I've recorded and see what the market price was closing for any stock. They also have an on-demand button where you can travel back in history and simulate trades, paper trade off this. Simulate trades, test your ideas and strategies. Sometimes it lags. Market watch tab, visualize. You can program alerts. Get your watch list running. This is my watch list. I have multiple watch lists I program for myself. These are all the stocks I try to know about as much as I can on a weekly to monthly basis. Sometimes I don't know enough about some stocks. Like, I can tell you right now, I don't fucking know much about HCA Healthcare right now. Don't know much about Home Depot. I haven't read up on Kimberly-Clark. But the stocks that I'm eyeing, believe me, and I really recommend to you, just read up on it. Figure out what's going on with the company, what's up, what's coming up, what's going down. Are they firing board members? Are they recruiting somebody specific for their board? You know, what's going on. And yeah, I was about to conclude this video like 4 times, but now for sure I'm concluding. Feel free to shoot me a text if you know me personally, or comment, like, and subscribe. Have a great day.